jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Santa, be right back, boys and girls. I gotta go feed my reindeer now. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. December 23rd. One more day. One more shopping day until Christmas. Each year they add a few more days. A few more days of hype trying to get their grubby hands on one more dollar. All in the name of peace and goodwill, of course. Christmas. It'll soon be over. Will I be glad? I don't think I can take many more days of crying babies and obnoxious little darlings bouncing on my knees. One did little more than bounce on this knee. Yeah, since when did you become such a cynic, Edward Jones? I don't know. All you hear all day long is, I want, I want, I want. Gets to you after a while. Kids today, they have no imaginations. Not like when we were kids, eh, Anna? Christmas is just not the same as it was. You were Christmas to me. Oh, these lists. Look at these lists. The kids, they all want the same things. Girls all want Barbie dolls, and the boys all want G.I. Joes. It's the TV. That's what's doing it. Clever bunch of those TV advertisers. They make you think that this toy or that toy will bring you happiness. But it's always the same. Toys get old after a while, soon sit on a shelf, become destined for next year's garage sales. Not just the kids either. They've gotten us adults by the pocketbooks as well. We have our toys too. This is Christmas. I want, I want, I want. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, my cheeks are killing me. Caution. Surgeon General has determined that smiling can be hazardous to your face. I've been sitting up there for 3 hours trying to look jolly. Well, face it, Edward Jones. You're a little out of practice, huh? Anyway, human beings were never meant to smile this much. Then there are the sweethearts who ask, is this real? Say, this job has its drawbacks. E equals MC squared. Yeah, real Santa Claus would die of exhaustion if he had to put up with all this before Christmas. Santa's helpers is how we're explained to the more observant children, the ones who notice that, you know, Santa Claus looks just a little different in each shopping mall that they go to. Santa's clones, they call us. Mr. Claus has it easy compared to what we put up with. We do the real work. Well, at least I get these breaks to recuperate. The new dry deodorant's working pretty good. It's a good thing, too, this suit gets hot. More or less. G.I. Joe, Barbie doll. Well, this one here just should have given me the toy catalog. He better be well connected at the North Pole, or his parents better have a lot of money. There's something they never explain in the storybooks. Santa Claus is supposed to have toys and goodies for all the boys and girls in the world. That's millions of kids. Even if he gave each kid a gift the size of a thimble, it would take several jumbo jetliners to hold it all. He's supposed to get all of that in his sleigh. Yeah, maybe make several trips back and forth to the North Pole. How many trips could one make in only one night? The amazing thing is, we actually believe it all when we're young. And why not? Impossible always seems possible when we're young. You know, if I really were Santa Claus and give these kids what they asked for, I'm not so sure that I would. G.I. Joe, Barbie doll, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Oh, now this one's different. The puppy. Now there's a gift. Some kids can still see the joy of a real living creature. Something more than plastic. I remember the Christmas when we gave a puppy to David. David. G.I. Joe, Barbie doll. Oh, this one. This one breaks my heart. Jimmy wants his daddy to come home. He wants mommy and daddy to love each other again. How many? How many more of the little ones want that? I wish I could give you that one, Jimmy. I really do. I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm not young. I don't believe in the impossible anymore. Oh, I used to. Not anymore. I believed in the impossible with you, my Anna. When we were married 40-something years ago, we were going to do the impossible. We were going to live together forever. We had to, because the thought of life without you was impossible. But you didn't, my Anna. You didn't. Now here I am 5 years later. Life without you is not impossible, but it is hard, Anna. It is so doggone hard. But we were invincible when we were younger, weren't we, dear? Our parents didn't want us to get married. Mine said that we should wait and think about it a bit. I did. The more I thought about it, the more I knew I wanted you as my wife. You said absolutely not, and then I was absolutely determined to marry you. We showed them, didn't we, dear? How I wish I could have seen their faces when they came into your bedroom the morning after we eloped with the just married sign lying on your pillow and signed Mr. and Mrs. Edward Jones. We were such rascals. They got used to me after a while. It took a few years, but we finally got along. I remember our first Christmas after we were married. I was going to college, so we didn't have much. Another impossibility made possible. I was supposed to take over the family store. No one from our family had ever been to college before. What did I think I was doing? But I was determined. Anyway, we were so poor, we could not even afford a tree. You kept saying that the tree didn't matter. It was the spirit and joy that counted. But I was determined that you were going to have a tree. Well, the landlord had had his workman, Jake, plant the cutest little spruce tree in our backyard, and I borrowed it. I went out and I dug it up and I planted it in an old wash tub we'd painted bright red and dragged it into the house. Oh, we decorated that tree to the hilt. You used your hair ribbons and tiny bits of foil. I made a popcorn string and cut out snowflakes from the pages of an old Sears catalog. Oh, it was magnificent. Best tree we'd ever had. Well, evidently the landlord came by when we weren't there and he noticed there was no tree in the yard. He confronted Jake about it, who swore up and down that he had planted a tree. A few days after Christmas, Jake shows up to plant another tree. In the meantime, I had replanted the original tree. We could not believe the way he carried on. He was certain the landlord had lost his mind or his glasses, and how he was wasting his holiday vacation planting trees where they're already planted, and on he raved. The upshot was we ended up with 2 trees in our backyard. I was tempted to try for a 3rd tree the next Christmas, but you insisted on buying one instead. Oh, Anna. Anna, we have a lot of good Christmas memories. So many memories. I've missed you so much these last 5 years. You're still very real to me, dear. Look at me. I'm still talking to you. I carry your photo and other mementos with me just to keep you near me. What could that be? Hello? Yes, Mr. Barnes, I'm here. I'm on my lunch break. Don't worry, Mr. Barnes. I'll be there. I'll be there after my break. That man. He's afraid if there's no Santa Claus out there, the customers might all disappear and he might lose a few precious dollars. Don't worry, Mr. Barnes. There's enough pressure on people at Christmas time to spend their money. I don't think it hinges on Santa's appearances. Not in this day and age. The only ones who will miss me out there are the little ones, and they're not the ones with the bucks to spend. You don't see their parents sitting on Santa's knee. And for that, this Santa's very grateful. Why did I take this job in the first place? Well, there's a good question, Edward Jones. Why did you take it? I don't know. A little extra money doesn't hurt, you know. Well, I don't need the money. I have a good pension, made many good investments. I don't really need the money. So why'd you take the job? Sound like you don't like it. This is your third year playing the part of Santa Claus. Well, maybe I was bored. A lot of people have a hard time keeping busy after retirement. Not me, I'm not bored. I keep busy. I can't stand idle time. Come on, Ed. Why'd you take the job? The kids. I like the kids. Though I don't seem to be acting like I like them very much lately. Seem to be complaining about them an awful lot. They can be a nuisance sometimes, but I do like them. At least they talk to me. They talk to me. Or who I'm pretending to be in this costume. Why do you admit the real reason you took the job? You took the job because you're lonely. All right, I'm lonely. There, I said it. So what? It's no crime. There are a lot of lonely people in the world. But it's worse at Christmas. It's just not the same at Christmas anymore without you, Anna. You filled the house with joy and laughter and hope, and I understood it. You were like a little girl, so full of happiness and mischief, it used to fill me. Hearing you sing when you decorate the tree, watching your eyes as you wrap gifts for the family, and seeing you when you came home from Christmas service, as you glowed, you glowed. I almost believed in Anna. I wanted to believe. Now you're gone. Christmas has become an empty time. No longer a time of joy and hope, but a time of sorrow and pain. I come here to this job to take my mind off the pain. Oh, how I wish I could hear your voice. You always had a way of saying what I needed to hear when I needed to hear it. What would you say to me now? Yeah, probably something out of this book, this Bible of yours, Anne. You would sit and read this thing for hours. More than that, you used to read it again and again. I used to say to you, what again? Can't you remember what it says the first time? You'd say, of course, I remember some of what it says, but the second time it says more. What nonsense. What it says the first time, it says the second. I've read books more than once. Even read this one. I did, Anna. I was too proud to let you know, but I did read it. Well, not the whole thing, of course. Parts you read most often. I could tell by your tiny little notes and your underlinings. I couldn't believe it, Anna. Oh, I believe there may be a God. I don't doubt the possibility. Not the kind you believed in. Not a God who loved this world so much that he would give up his son. God who became flesh and then died for us. Not me, Anna. I'm sorry, but not me. You believed it in your God. I couldn't. It didn't make sense to me. It seemed impossible to me. Yes, my dear, no doubt you'd quote this book. Even as you died, you quoted it. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. And you weren't afraid. I'm sorry, Anna. Sorry I let you down. Sorry I couldn't believe. Maybe if your God is real, he's punishing me now. Is that it, Mr. God? Are you punishing me for not believing? God of love, eh? Huh. Now, what do you want, Mr. Barnes? Hello? Yes, it's still my break. What's that? Work tonight? Open till midnight? Really, Mr. Barnes, you think there are going to be that many children in the mall after 9 o'clock? Well, I'm sorry, but I can't. Well, maybe you'd like to borrow my suit. No, really, I cannot. I have to make a few preparations for Christmas myself, you know. Well, I actually have to finish loading my sleigh and make a few million more Barbie dolls and G.I. Joes. No, really, I cannot. You sure you don't want to borrow the suit? Don't worry, Mr. Barnes. I'll be there after my break. Oh, Mr. Barnes, Merry Christmas. May you find a lump of coal in your stockings while your shoes are still on your feet. That man, if he didn't need me so much, he'd probably fire me. Sorry, Mr. Barnes. I have more important things to do than to sit around here until midnight. After all, Christmas is only 2 days away. I must prepare myself, you know, prepare myself. Prepare myself. Prepare for what? Sit alone again on Christmas Day? Christmas Day. The happiest day of the year. Well, it used to be. So why are you spending Christmas alone, Edward Jones? Where do you expect me to spend? I have no family here. My Anna's gone. My brother died last year. All of Anna's family's back east. I have no place to go. Sure, I was invited to spend Christmas with the Newmans, but I don't want to horn in on somebody else's holiday. I know the Newmans are being helpful, but I don't need their sympathy. Christmas is a time for family. You have a family, Ed. You have a son, David. He only lives 2 hours away in Bellingham. No, David is not my son. Not anymore. He turned his back on me, on the family, on you, Anna. I do not have a son. Oh, Anna, I'm sorry. I cannot forgive him. Not anymore. I tried for the longest time. When you were here, I tried. He dropped out of college. I forgave him. We'd worked so hard to put him through and to see how he wasted all of our efforts, but I forgave him. For you. And when he went off to Canada to avoid the draft, we have a tradition in our family. My dad was an officer. His dad fought in World War I. I served in Korea. I was proud to serve our country. And he was a coward. Although that was not his reason. He'd worked up a careful piece of rationalization. But still, I managed to forgive him. For you. I got him back into the country. Had a great job lined up for him, but oh, no. He was still a rebel. He went and married that flower child wife of his, Katie, and made candles while living in a house full of hippies. And even then, I managed to live with it, and I tried to be a family for you. You never gave up on him. Kept on praying to your God. Praying for him and for me. God didn't come through, did he, Anna? That would have been something to see God or anyone turning that boy into something worthwhile. But the final straw, Anna, was when he didn't even come to your funeral. That, to me, Anna, was unforgivable. He didn't want to deal with it, he said. Wanted to remember you the way that you were. Coward, selfish coward is what you are. You honor the dead. You pay respects. You don't go hide somewhere and pretend it didn't happen. You were his mother. You gave birth to him, cared for him when he was ill, loved him no matter what he did. He should have been there to last for you, Anna. He should have been there. You needed him. You needed him. I needed him. You were gone. All the love I'd ever known in my life was gone. I was alone. I needed our son. And he wouldn't come to me. No, I am sorry, but I do not have a son. That poor excuse for a human being is not my son. 15 more minutes. Time goes by so slowly when I'm alone. Out there with the children, it goes so much faster. The children, Anna, you know, we should have had more children. The only problem is they grow up. You know, maybe if we'd had more children, we'd now have some grandchildren. Maybe that's why I took this job. Let's me be a grandpa to all the little ones out there. At least I can be with them for a while and hold them and pretend. Pretend. Oh, yes, Ed, you seem to like to pretend a great deal. Pretend you're a grandfather, pretend you're Santa Claus. Talk to Anne as though she were still alive. Pretend you do not have a son. You even pretend now as you look in the mirror and you talk to yourself. Well, so what if I do what of it? So why don't I deal with reality for a while, huh? What reality? Anna was the only real thing in my life. Our love was a reality. Now she's gone. All I have are some things of hers to remind me of what was once so very real. This Bible, that was her reality. I did promise her I would read it. Before she died, I made her that promise. That's why I carry it with me. I have great intentions. Look at this thing, so cluttered with tiny little notes and underlinings. What is this? Never noticed this before. A letter written in her Bible. To God. Well, that's a new one. How do you send that? I suppose that's why it's written here instead of on regular paper. You knew you couldn't really send it, eh, Anna? Just like these kids with their Christmas list. So they want their toys and they have faith in Santa Claus to bring them, but how do you communicate with him when he's only a post office box? Huh? A child's faith. Is that what you had, Anna? A child's faith? A letter to God, eh? Probably as good as your prayers. Christmas Eve, 1985. Her last Christmas. My dear Lord, it is the Christmas season once again, Father. Happy birthday. I know that this is the season
when we are to be so full of joy and hope. But Lord, I am having a hard time of it this year. It is so out of character for me. I have never lost the joy of the Christmas season before. The story of the birth of the Christ child always warms me in such a special way. But my heart is deeply troubled this year. You see, I know my time is short. The doctors have tried to give me hope, but the cancer is much worse than we thought. They tell me I have a couple of months at best. I have chosen not to tell Ed yet. I don't want to upset him at this point. There is so much he doesn't understand. So, Lord, my burden is not for myself. I am not afraid of death. My burden is for my dear Edward and my David. I love them both so much. I want Edward to see that you are a loving, concerned Father God and not a disinterested, apathetic one. I'm so afraid that he will blame you for taking me, that he will never open his heart to you. He is a good man, Father, and he has brought me so much happiness. I think I have faith enough for the both of us, if he would trust, just a little. Does that count? But he is a very stubborn man, Lord. I guess you know that. Both of my boys are, like two peas in a pod. David is just like his father, hard-headed. Will my death bring them together or drive them even further apart? I still have hope. I feel confident that you are answering my prayers. I received a letter from Katie, and she has convinced David to start going to church with her. She said she had to drag him kicking and screaming the first few times, but he is going. She is a spirited woman, that Katie. If she is able to get David in church, then she is ahead of me. I was not so successful with him or Edward. Perhaps she will be the one that keeps my boys together. It would do this wife and mother's heart so much good if I knew that both of my boys would be with me in paradise. Oh, and Lord, Katie mentioned that an unexpected surprise may be forthcoming. I hope that means what I think it means. Wouldn't it be something if, after all these years, the experts were wrong? I don't know what possessed me to write this. I know you hear our prayers, but writing helps me to focus my attention better. My mind seems to wander more lately. It must be the medication. I just didn't have any paper handy, so here I am, writing in my Bible. It is a wonder I hadn't discovered these blank pages before, or they would most certainly be full of notes. I will try harder to catch the Christmas spirit. I love you, Lord. I have not lost my hope. Your child, Anna.
She knew. She knew at Christmas. All these years. And to find this now. Anna, you spoke to me. You believe so strongly. I must be such a disappointment to you. If I could know, really know, that it is possible to be with you in your eternity, then I would believe. I want that more than anything. Mr. God, if you are there and listening to me, understand I'm doing this for Anna. No. No, that's not true. I'm doing this for me. I don't know much about this prayer thing, but as best I can, this is one. I want to try to believe. But I need some help. Anna, you said you had faith enough for the both of us. I could use a little of that about now. Okay, God. You help me. Okay? Amen or something, I guess. Now what? I don't know where to begin. Well, I suppose I could start by taking a closer look at this book. This Bible of yours, Anna. Sure held a surprise in it for me today. And speaking of surprises, what was she talking about? An unexpected surprise, the experts being wrong. I suppose I could call and ask. No. No, I'm not going to talk to David. You're not going to make me talk to David. No. Of course, I could ask to speak to Katie. But I don't want to talk to her either. Oh, my break is over. Got to get out there. Well, Ed, you look the same. How do you feel? I don't know. Funny. I'm not sure yet. I know what he wants this time. Hello? Yes, Mr. Barnes, I know. I'm sorry. I'm on my way. Oh, and Mr. Barnes, listen. If you'd still like me to work until midnight, I'll be happy to. No, I'm fine. No, really. Well, let's just say I'm getting into the Christmas spirit and let it go at that. You're welcome. Right, I'll be right there. Why did I do that? Well, Ed, I guess we'll have to talk to you later. Okay, where'd I put my gloves? Oh, here they are. Huh, what's this? Another note. Oh, dear Santa, I'm 4 years old. I've been a good girl. Please bring me a kitten for Christmas. A kitten. Love, Anna Jones, Bellingham, Washington. Anna Jones? Bellingham, Washington? 4 years old? No. No, it's not possible. Katie can't have any. Or could she? A surprise? I've got to call. I can't. I've got to get out there. Maybe she's still here. That was only a little while ago. Anna Jones? A granddaughter? God, I don't understand what's going on here. I don't understand what I'm feeling. I'm suddenly overcome with a feeling that I've been missing for years. Hope. I'm feeling hope. I don't know if this is you or what, but if this has anything to do with the real spirit of Christmas, I think I'm going to like it. Oh, amen, right? Anna Jones. Oh, I'm Santa Claus. Think Santa Claus. Okay, here we go. I'm coming, boys and girls. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. I'm coming, boys and girls. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho.